What's going on? This Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And I put it all together today. I put it all together today. And I really see what's going on in boxing. And I really see how black people, black fight fans, you know, we are actually being very much a part of our own demise and why we don't actually get the credit we deserve in the sport. Let's get into it. I've been asking myself ever since Caleb Plant, you know, suffered his loss to Canelo. You know, I was thinking about all the talking they were doing in the ring, the headbutt situation when he was talking to Canelo and all the stuff surrounding that fight. And I was disappointed in Caleb Plant. I really was, because he wasn't himself, you know, in that fight. He wasn't fighting the way he normally fought. It's rumors that some of the cartel was going to do something to him, you know, which isn't too far-fetched. For anybody that want to, you know, dismiss these things under conspiracy theories, because it is a common notion that the mob still runs boxing. But I digress. But the question is the Canelo Sweepstakes and who's going to get Canelo next. And it's been a very, 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 very strong push for David Benavidez. And I keep thinking, okay, well, it's common knowledge that Canelo ducked Charlo a minute ago. He got the franchise belt and dipped the fuck out. Moved weight classes. Right? He moved 2 weight classes. Okay. So, I'm thinking, why is everybody pushing David Benavidez? Why is everybody pushing David Benavidez? You know, and again, I always say, I used to like David Benavidez. And there are still some things about, he's a likable guy. There are. But I got to keep it a buck when it comes down to the things that I see involving, you know, certain fighters and what's surrounding them and the politics and agendas. And see, this is what I broke it down to. The reason why David Benavidez stock is rising and the reason why Charlo's stock is decreasing is, one, because in the Latin community, the way they see that is, for one, for Canelo, that's going to be a big money grab. For people who love Canelo but think that David is the future and they buy into all the hype surrounding David Benavidez, they believe that, okay, if them two fought, especially now that Canelo has Undisputed, if them two fought, and let's just say David Benavidez actually pulled it out because they're relying on his power and his aggressiveness. They're not looking at his defense. They're not looking at how undisciplined he is. They're not even looking at the fact that he keep missing weight. He's a weight bully. They're not looking at that. They're looking at, okay, well, it's the Bob Arum effect. Like when he set Jeff Horn out there for Bud, he knew that fight going on, no matter who wins and who loses, the belt stay with him. So the Latin community believe that if David Benavidez happens to beat Canelo Alvarez, the belt stays inside the Latin community and there'll be a new quote-unquote face of boxing. But see, I come from a different line of thinking and a different logic. I try to stay away from the race card. I try to stay away from things that pertain to race and boxing, even though it's kind of hard. Because this is what we're seeing. We're seeing black people latch onto this notion and they keep saying David Benavidez. They keep discounting Charlo for some things and stuff that he got going on with other boxers. What he had what Big Charlo got going on with Jared Hurd. What Little Charlo had going on with Wilder. They just took that and ran with it. So their stock dropping because they're sellouts and they just want to just, you know, get clicks, likes, and monetization. So they make enough money to where in one video about them, they'll receive enough money to actually pay for one of his fights, but they'll use that same time to shit on him and then actually boycott his fights and to drive his stock down. And I don't get it, because Canelo can eat tainted meat, David Benavidez can snort cocaine, he can get COVID, push back fights, he can lose his belt to the scale. Canelo can get a franchise and move and maneuver and pick and choose and go up and go on a European bum bashing tour, make people sit around and wait, give people catch weight clauses and short camps, and people still gonna say he is the king. The minute Charlo say something on his activity outside the ring, don't pertain to boxing, do anything, they want to boycott him. And I don't get it. And I call it the Bob Arum effect is because it's the same reason why Shakur can't get the Oscar Valdez fight right now. He can't get it right now. But y'all the same people that want to sit up here and say, oh, well, why is Bob Arum protecting Valdez? Valdez ducked Shakur in a lower weight class. Now they're in the same weight class. Shakur handled his business against Herring, and he still can't get an Oscar Valdez fight. Yet Oscar Valdez comes up hot, gets the shit beat out of him in front of the world on ESPN. You have Andre Ward calling the fight all crazy and saying body language and all this other stuff when Consecao boxed Oscar Valdez's head off. Only thing he did wrong in everybody else's eyes was a little bit of showboating. He was showing confidence. He dominated that fight. So Oscar Valdez get the decision. Shakur go out and handle business against Herring. He still can't get the Oscar Valdez fight. Still can't get it. Bob Arum effect. So in the Latin community, they figure, oh, we push Benavidez, the belt won't stay inside the culture. Us, with our dumb asses, we keep shitting on Charlo when Charlo is a champion at 154. He's a champion at 160. He's a 2-division champion. Y'all want to shove? Oh, well, he never wanted the Daniel Jacobs fight and all this. Daniel Jacobs is just like David Benavidez right now. They don't got shit to offer. He see his brother just go for undisputed, and it was called a draw, and he's back at he's got to go back to the table to try to get that back underway to get undisputed. But these guys are on a hunt for belts. But y'all turn right around. Y'all turn right around and y'all shit on Tank because he under Floyd, and Floyd and them don't give a fuck about belts. And it's really getting disgusting because y'all turn y'all back on the Charlos when they out there for legacy. Y'all turn right around and say, oh, but Tank, he need to start thinking about legacy. Make up your mind. These other fighters from these other cultures, they can do anything. They can piss hot, they can cherry pick, they can franchise, they can do all this shit. And we turn our back on our own. Charlo got one of the best jabs. If he was so easy work, why didn't Canelo fight him back then? I just watched the weigh-in for David Benavidez. First of all, his face looks sunken in like he's weight drained, and he still missed weight. Let that bitch breathe. I just heard somebody say Charlo will get stomped out by Canelo. I beg to differ. He got one of the best jabs in the game. His suddenness, he'll get up on. He's not like Mel with his suddenness, but Charlo is very powerful. And y'all want to shit on him because of a Montiel fight, of a Derevyanchenko fight, or a Korobov fight. He handled Derevyanchenko. He had some issues with Korobov. Montiel was in the fight for his life because he knew that was his only way to try to get his strap. He wasn't going to be that easy to get knocked out. But y'all want to compare what he did to 147 against Munguia and how Munguia got him out of there. It's a whole different ball game. And I'm not saying Charlo fights to the level of his competition, but let's be real. Charlo won 10 out of 12 of them rounds. He got caught with a body shot. He didn't do the stinky leg like Devin against Linares, but y'all turn right around and y'all big up Devin, and y'all say he like Sugar Ray Leonard and he's the next Floyd Mayweather and all this dumb shit when he let Linares do that, make his ass do the stinky leg going back to the corner. The same fight, but he dominated 10 out of the 12 rounds. Then he hugged for the rest. Charlo fought tooth and nail with Montiel. He buckled him. He hit him with all kind. He hit him with the kitchen sink. It was just one of them days. He didn't have y'all support on his homecoming to the Houston, when he went to Houston on Juneteenth. He didn't have our support. But it's funny how all these other cultures, they rally around, they can do no wrong. They can cheat. And they can dismiss it and say, oh no, it's not that kind of cheating. It's not that kind of PED. No, all this does is help you make weight. It's cheating. Charlo ain't never lost no belt on the scales. He's a 2-divisional champ. He ain't never came up hot for cocaine, but because he got some words with another boxer, then y'all want to blackball him and y'all want to say no, he don't deserve his shot. Charlo been in line to get his shot. Let that bitch breathe. So y'all want to keep buying into this and y'all supposed to be so pro-black. Y'all ain't pro-black. Y'all not pro-black, y'all pro-narrative. Whatever narrative and whatever you think is good, and because you in a community and you want to just ride a boat and ride a wave of all this bullshit that's going on, y'all can keep doing that. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep putting it out there. My channel might not grow, but I speak the truth. Charlo need his shot with Canelo next. He need his shot next. Body work.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
My word, I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
You guys jump outside the ring. I'm a fighter, like I said before. Ain't no safety in the clock, so